Whoa, 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 we're back for some Bleach Soul Resonance, and we've got a little buff patch coming for Soi Fon, and I'm not gonna lie. I said this time and time again. If you were watching this channel, you knew how small these buffs might be, because I've been singing the praises of Soi Fon the entire time. Maybe I've sounded like I was coping, but did I not literally say at some point that if she got buffs, it would be very minor? I think these buffs were done because there was some complaining. I think these buffs only exist because there was a little bit of complaining. I don't think these buffs were done because they think she's weak. I think these buffs were done completely to satisfy the people who wouldn't stop talking about them. I'm not gonna lie, the community, the devs seem very locked in with the community. I mean, we've never seen buffs that were this meager. I not to say that like I told you so, but I saw these hit my timeline, and I saw people being like, we knew she needed buffs, and I was like, these are the buffs? If these are the buffs, this is like, I don't know, this is like pissing on my head and telling me it's raining. I knew she didn't really need buffs, like, I'm not gonna lie. But you know, we got a few things in here that feel almost less like buffs and more like optimizations. I mean, they say optimizations here, but let's just, you know, we'll just get into it. They are literally buffs. These first two are literally buffs. But they almost feel like quality of life. The first one is literally just a 10% increase in damage. That's great. Nice. Cool. The second one, though, feels like, hey, if you had trouble switching and keeping track of stuff, we'll just do it for you. So they just increase the time for her swapping passive to 25 seconds. That's huge. I mean, obviously that's huge. If I can, we'll go in game and we'll take a look at these. But yeah, this feels more like people were having trouble actually playing the character, which I've been saying Soi Fon, maybe then, maybe not as much now. Soi Fon, to me, is the hardest character to play consistently. When people are actually attacking you back. When you're just hitting a training dummy, you're just playing her like every other character. But you know, Yodohara is a harder character to get his rotation off when you're playing against Aizen or Okieta, the bosses, rather than, you know, you're playing against Kensai in the training mode, right? So yeah, not exactly. There are a few actually that are important. So optimize camera performance for Soi Fon in the main city. That's just fluff. Counterattack optimization. After releasing a counterattack, execution battle can now be used earlier to interrupt the enemy's follow-up attacks. It's pretty cool. But here, fix an issue where the ultimate would occasionally fail to hit enemies at close range. This literally happened in the video prior to this one, and I pointed out, I said, this fight would have been done like 10 seconds faster if she didn't literally miss this ultimate, which was something I noticed. It didn't seem like they fixed one where she literally goes invisible and it's bugged, but which also happened in that video. You could fix it by switching out. Fix an issue where backstrike could easily interrupted when releasing immediately after windmill. I mean, sure, why not? It's like I said, these aren't like huge. I mean, we can go into training and see if anything's changed in part, like this, like noticeable, but it's what I talked about, man. I don't think, and let's just take a look to see if our things have updated. This is execution battle execution, by the way. So after you use, this is another thing that is sticky. So you'll see in my rotations, if I have the counterattack up and I have execution battle up, a lot of times I want to do the counter, then I want to use execution battle, and I want to go flow into them quicker. So that is a thing. And beyond that, I mean, 40% is 40%. We can go here and see that you get 10 extra seconds, which is nice. That's nice, by the way. That's nice. Really nice. Because what this means is that at 15 seconds, so let's actually talk about why this is good. At 15 seconds, you would overlap perfectly with your switch in from an auto dodge from Yoruichi, which means that you are losing a stack, then switching into Soi Fon to regain that stack, but you weren't generating a stack. This should essentially make it so that every like other swap in, you'll probably be re-dinging your third stack rather than just like regaining. But yeah, let's actually just get in. So we'll do like a maybe we'll just do 2 minutes. Maybe we'll do 2 minutes, and we'll just see if it's any noticeable increase. I'd have to go back and look, but I don't think this should mean like a crazy amount. Like I said, I think I think the character was just difficult, and that's sort of fine. I think they made her a little easier in some respects, and that's also fine. I don't, it is what it is. So I didn't actually show the thing there. That's my mistake. I should have gone into the counter first, but we get here, we go to Yoruichi, we start going crazy, get our attacks up. But yeah, I don't know. You guys tell me if these buffs helped you do anything in particular, but like I said, I think the character was just already really good. Just my opinion. Grab it here, go into ult. Get our thing here. Yes, sir. Get a 5er. We're about to get our free dodge again once we do this. Yes, sir. Grab here. It does? I mean, it's feeling pretty smooth. So we got here. Remember, it lines up with our ult. We're going to get all of these, and we're going to go back. We might go into... Yeah, I mean, we'll go into Yoruichi, and then, yeah. We're going to go into Urahara right after this to refresh our buffs. There we go. Perfect timing. We don't need to hit the ults, or we don't need to hit the passive hits. We're actually going to go into here to get our swap out. That's pretty good. We'll just do this. Okay. Look, I mean, yeah, like I said, I mean, it feels normal. Like, it doesn't. This is what I'm talking about. Is that was mistimed, by the way. I should have done the extra. So here, we'll do this. Well, we're actually gonna get the full attack because that'll give Yoruichi time to come off of cooldown, so we can just swap back into her. Pretty good. We get our swap out here. I mean, yeah. Man, this is such a fun character to play, dude. We are like, it's just a feeling of like always doing a little bit of something, right? And this is like one of the reasons I said that like I didn't really notice the this thing they're talking about with like the passive, because you don't really like make a super ton of use of that, right? Like, I mean, there are times where your technique and your counter are up at the same time, but it's not so often. There we go. We burned through our stuff pretty fast this time. So we're gonna ult here. So ult here, then go into counter. Usually, sometimes this one would miss, so it's great that they changed that. That's the one that feels very meaningful. Is that usually that one misses. I will say that. I will say that I've noticed that a lot. We're gonna go into ult and then swap out into with technique. Actually, and that was a mistake, by the way, because we didn't get the counter up. I was too. This is what I'm talking about. Is like, there's just a lot of stuff. So we see the thing here. Oh yeah, look at that. Yeah, it's cool. It's fast. It is fast. Look at that. That's the thing I'm talking about with this character, is that one of the issues with her is that you can make a lot of mistakes because you just preempt things too quickly. Like, I didn't get Yoruichi's counters like from her ultimate, because in my head I was like, I need to get Urahara's buffs back up so I can swap back into Soi Fon, so I can do this, so I can do that. That is like the actual difficulty in this character that is like goes unsaid. We'll just swap out an ult. Is like it there. Ooh, 9.8. There are just a lot of moving pieces, right? I think there's just a lot of moving parts, and as we sort of crest, we'll swap out after technique. As you sort of crest the amount here, we could see like where the sticking points are, right? So we're gonna get ult here. We'll pop one of those, and now we're gonna actually get our stuff up. While we're doing the slight one, we're gonna look down. Okay, our Urahara stuff is down, so that's where we're going next, because we can see our passive. So there's that. We're gonna swap into Soi Fon here. Soi Fon has her technique, so that buff's gonna come in handy, I think. Oh no, she doesn't have. She just doesn't. So doesn't really matter. I mean, we've seen it once. This is what I'm. Like I said, I looked at those buffs and I was like, yeah, it's because she doesn't really need them. We're gonna swap out here. Nice, and that means Yoruichi's back up, so we can get it. This is where the ult would miss again, by the way. A lot of times the ult would miss like this. So that's another one. 11 million, pretty good. I think that means we got maximized crit rate. Yeah, we're gonna go here because we just get a free one. Go here. Not bad though. I feel like this is pretty good run. If we had Grimjaw in or something, if we had a different character in, we'd be doing a million fucking damage. I'd say that. But not bad for old Yoruichi. So 1.19 million. This is without level 6 Yoruichi or boundary 6 Yoruichi. This is without dupe 2 Yodohara. 41 million on her looks pretty good. I mean, that's not bad at all. That's a pretty good amount. No core stamp on her, which means a lot. No core stamp there. 25 million owed to Soi Fon. Used it 5 times. It's pretty good. So she's something more like 66 million. I mean, yeah, that's great. Like I said, not a lot noticed on the buff end. I don't want to be that person, like I said, but the one that was most observable is I could feel myself critting more because the crits definitely are easier to keep up even when you make mistakes. And I'm going to show no core stamp, so that'll be nice once I get it, probably sometime this week. But yeah, this one felt really nice as like a quality of life. Just feels easier to keep up. You know, having 30% crit rate. I mean, having that 30% means I'm at 77%, plus 15% means I'm at like 92% crit rate, right? And then this one came up literally once, the counterattack into technique. That came up literally once. The biggest thing probably is just that 40% damage increase is comfortable, you know, nice comfortable piece of damage. It'll help people. If you weren't getting the most out of your Soi Fon, then 10% more damage will probably fill in the blanks there, but like I said, these felt like buffs because people asked for buffs. These didn't feel like Kenpachi. Kenpachi literally was not that great on release when you compared him to the other DPSs. Like, I'm pretty sure it was like observable that Kenpachi, even though I found him fun, you know, I found his stuff fun, it was pretty observable that he wasn't as good as he needed to be. My Yuri, before he got this skill right here, this pool, I mean, we all know how that was going. Like, he was genuinely the same as just using Yodohara. Still good to me because having a second Yodohara is never bad. But before he got that, and I think before he got, didn't he get an increase to his terror? I couldn't remember. Whatever. You know what I'm saying. Like, he had his own niche. He was a great spirit dissipator, even on off elements. Like, you could bring him as a spirit dissipator even when he wasn't the right color for the event, which is nice. I mean, spirit dissipation is a very strong ability. Same with Soi Fon, by the way. Soi Fon feels like she destroys spirit bar, so that's great. But I will say those definitely felt like buffs where they were like, okay, there's something that we need here. Like, they literally gave him a mechanic so that he could proc Gein's mechanic, right? Versus Soi Fon here. Soi Fon definitely got buffs out of desire. I mean, if she got more, sure, I wouldn't be mad at it. But again, I don't really think. I think the time to buff Soi Fon is when Grimjaw releases. I think for right now, I do think she's good. I mean, the time, and the reason I say to buff her is when Grimjaw releases, because when you buff her when Grimjaw releases, it incentivizes you to pull for Grimjaw. It also may incentivize you to pull for her if they do a rerun banner. Remember, we haven't seen a rerun since, right? That was during LL. That was during Chinese New Year, which is, you know, big old event, right? So, you know, we don't see anything here. When Grimjaw comes, half Annie, we're probably gonna get another one of those selector banners. Maybe we'll get another dupe, free dupe. That'll be cool. But we're probably gonna get another one of selector banners. It's like, hey, come pull. We've got, like, you know, we've got goodies in here, and that'll mean it'll be a good time to reroll your account, etc., right? That's just how that goes. But yeah, for now, I mean, that was a little showcase. I don't think it changed too much. 1.1 million DPS. I think before, if I was like not. I mean, even during the tower, didn't I average something like 960,000 DPS? Like almost 1 million. And that was with like Aizen blasting me with bullshit, right? So, I don't know. Yeah, that's going to do it. I guess we should check out one last thing. Let's see the camera optimization. Why not? Okay, so we've got her here. It looks like the camera did sink down, and then if we zoom in, oh yeah, it does zoom into her face. That's cute. Cool. Cool character, dude. Cool, very cool looking character. All right, super cool looking. All right, that'll do though. I've been Lone. Like you like the video, subscribe to the club. We all gonna make it, and peace.